Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on Politics Today on Channels Television. So, some of the developing stories that we are following for you, especially the federal government's decision and actions on the xenophobia attacks on Nigerians in South Africa. This time around, more statements coming from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema. It does look like there is a very decisive decision that has been made on the Nigerian diplomatic official in South Africa. Let's take a listen to the Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Onyema.
No, it's one of the options that we're considering. He will need to come back, but we feel that he should come back after the envoy has gone there, precisely for the reasons that you have mentioned there. So, so that Mr. President will also have the benefit of a full and comprehensive brief from all the individuals who are in a position to have seen things at a close range.
So let's get talking. You heard there from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, on the decision of the federal government. Let's get the APC side of the matter in the Kogi and Bayelsa state. Let's speak to the National Organizing Secretary of the APC, Mr. Ibediro. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program, which we had you in the studio. But give us the thought of your party. Now that you have candidates, flag bearers in Kogi and Bayelsa State. Let's start with Bayelsa State. That seems to be the hottest story coming out of that town in Yenagua. Mr. David Lyon is the candidate of the APC. How does this come to your party after the courts tussle on whether or not it was a direct or indirect mode of election?
Hello, thank you very much. You remember 2 days ago, I was in your studio, to talk to our supporters, our party members in Bayelsa, and to allay every fear about our primaries in Bayelsa State. Today, I want to happily announce to you that we have concluded our primaries in Bayelsa State in spite of all the initial hitches. And today, the party has a flag bearer for the November 16th gubernatorial election for Bayelsa State. So it's a good news, because everybody was scared that in view of all the court orders and counter-court orders that APC may not be able to produce a candidate before the close of the period allowed by INEC. But thank God that in spite of all this, our party remained calm, our party members remained calm, remained focused, and today that exercise has taken place risk-free. And we're happy to say that our party has a flag bearer for Bayelsa State.
Some of the concerns raised by some of your party members is the regularization of your party register, which they fear that if the party conducts a direct primary, there might be a problem because they faulted the register that the party is going to use. Are you afraid that this might cause some after effect in the primaries that has been conducted today?
But today you have also noticed that our primaries took place without any problem. Our party members in all the wards came out in mass, to participate in the exercise. We have not had any reports of violence. We have not had any reports of disorganization, like what happened on the other side. So today, our party members all came out and identified themselves and were able to see their names on the party register, and that enabled them to vote. So when people tell you that direct primaries will have problems associated with it, naturally there is no perfect arrangement. But what I'm telling you is that our exercise today has shown that our membership were properly mobilized on the preferred mode of primaries, and they have gone out today, to the field, and they were able to organize the primaries. And up to now, we have not had any adverse story, regarding to violence or any other thing that will mar the primaries. So we are grateful, that this exercise took place, in spite of any doubts that we are, associated, due to the court orders that came up.
Interestingly, as your party is knowing its candidate in person of Mr. David Lyon, the APC also, the PDP in Bayelsa State also has their own candidate, their flag bearer, Senator Ibediro. The PDP is the incumbent party in Bayelsa State. What are your concerns when you get to the field, considering the fact that you are up against an incumbent party? Any fears as to how tense that contest might be in Bayelsa State?
The All Progressive Congress have no fear at all in the main election. Bayelsa State is a state that we believe that our party will win without much stress. If you observe what happened today in the primaries, you can see that we are very organized. Our party people were greatly mobilized. And part of the duty of direct primaries is that it is another way of mobilizing the party membership to participate in the process of nominating their flag bearers. And once they have done that, they feel highly obliged to vote for the same candidate as in mind. So I tell you that Bayelsa is winnable for APC, and we are going to do everything we can to make sure we win lawfully. Because if the APC can move from ground zero to where we are today in Bayelsa, that means we can also move further to win the main election. Because today we have a senator from Bayelsa State, we have two federal House members from Bayelsa State, unlike it was in the past. So these are great impetus that will prepare the party towards working hard enough to win the election. And also recall that the sitting governor in Bayelsa State is a lame duck. He's a sitting governor, so his place will not play much, to the disadvantage of our party. So we're working very hard, and we're very optimistic.
Talk to us about the Kogi situation. It's unfortunate, the kind of violence that erupted at the PDP primaries. There's been a back and forth between your party and the PDP. What confidence do you have the candidate of the PDP, Musa Wadada, has emerged compared to your candidate, the governor, Yaya Bello? What confidence do you have that about the performance of your party on the 16th of November, 2019?
So when you compare what happened in the two primaries, the primaries of APC and the primaries of PDP, you will see which party is better prepared for democracy in that state. Our primary in Kogi State was hate-free. There was no element of violence. Our candidate emerged through a process that was made open, very transparent to everybody that was there. And up to now, I can assure you that nobody has disputed the result of that primary. So that will tell you that APC is much more better prepared and more organized to allow democratic principles take place. Well, I don't want to talk about the other party. They have their own problems. But I'm telling you that with the democratic tendency that was displayed during our primaries, you can be sure that our party is organized, and we are very sure that if we put every act together and work very hard, our candidate, who is the incumbent governor in Kogi State, will emerge the winner.
Mr. Ibediro, Thank you so much, APC National Organizing Secretary. Let's get our final moments and thoughts from Mr. Frank Shuaibu in our Abuja studio. Lead us into the end of the program in a few seconds. Your final thought on the Kogi and Bayelsa election. These are perhaps some of the toughest elections, places to conduct elections in Nigeria in terms of the terrain and in terms of the political awareness of the people there. Your thought in a few seconds, please.
Yes, in a few seconds, I want to say that in Kogi is going to be very, very interesting. Interesting because it's going to be the vote of the people will count. If the vote of the people is made to count, then the PDP will win that election. Because if the mood of the people is taken seriously, the PDP will win the election in Kogi. And I'm sure of that because, like I said earlier, Musa Wada, the candidate of the PDP, is one man who has a good head, sitting strategically on the right neck. With a PhD in his kitty, with his experience in the Nigerian Post Authority, I believe that he will give Governor Yahya Bello a good run for his money. And most importantly, the battleground will be in Kogi East, where the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Edward Onoja, holds sway. But I believe that the PDP, if we put our acts together, will be able to displace what the young man has done there. But interestingly, all said and done, Kogi will be victorious for the PDP. It will be a return of the PDP to power come November. For Bayelsa, just as I said earlier, Governor Dixon has set a good template for the PDP in Bayelsa. So it's going to be a walkover.
We'll leave it
by
at
the grace
that.
of God in November.
We'll leave it at that, and we monitor the activities of all the political parties, some of whom have not finished their primaries, but we'll keep you updated on what is happening there. Mr. Ibediro, APC National Organizing Secretary, has spoken to us on the program, and also Mr. Frank Shuaibu. Thank you so much for coming on, advisor to the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Well, that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.